Welcome to the winds of Jupiter. "2016 was a year of completion. I know many, including myself, who will be happy to leave 2016 in the dust. 2017 is the year of endings and new beginnings. I dreamt the other night for you to follow where Pluto, the planet of transformation and endings and beginnings, is in your chart with respect to the other planets, which makes sense since 2017 is a year of endings and new beginnings. Mars is direct all of 2017, so energy from the warrior planet shouldn't be an issue. As we go into 2017, Mercury will be retrograde until January 8th. This is a hangover time from New Year's, and perhaps it's best to defer your New Year's resolutions until the 8th of January, when all the planets will be direct until February 6th. This definitely is an auspicious time. However, 2017 is not a year of immediate gratification. Work hard and stay cool and collected, and rewards will come to you. It's like, or as if, I hear the tumblers of a safe slowly clicking into place. When the safe is finally open, you will receive what you deserve. 2017 is a prelude to the up-and-coming stellar year of 2018. Before we get started, I'd like to explain my unique tarot spread that I put together so you have a more fulfilling experience in your readings. The 7 core cards depict the 7 chakra energy points of the body. The 3 cards on the left depict the bottom part of the body, the spine, the pelvic, the solar plexus. The center is the heart. To the right is the throat, the third eye, and the crown. They all have their own place in what you're doing in your life, but this is the unconscious inner self versus the conscious self on the right side. We've all done things in our lives that we're guilty of that we all of a sudden say, why did I do that? And why did I say that? I believe there's a massive disconnect between our unconscious self and our conscious self, and the actions that we bring out into the outer world. The lower right-hand card is the base of the spine. This is a culmination of who you are, from past lives to childhood traumas, to childhood cherished memories, to today. We're ever evolving all the time, and that's why I call it sourcing and urgings instead of foundation. The second card up, the pelvic or the sacrum, depicts actually emotional and spiritual growth, or growth of any kind, and also sexual prowess, and how you think about all this in your unconscious mind and how it comes out into the world. I call this the awakening or the arousing for growth, but it's more on a cosmic level, because the cosmos has natural laws that are in harmony. But then we go up here to the solar plexus, which actually they call the navel, as well. And we're dealing with something completely different because this is a universal life force that you're thinking about. And it's more of feeling and sensing, is what I call it. And you're erupting into an awakening close to your subconscious. The central card, as I had mentioned, is the heart of the matter or the situation. You're concerning. You're caring and concerning and loving, but you have questions and you want them answered. The bottom right is the throat, and I call this the communicating and teaching. But actually, we should be listening as much as we communicate. This is where you make your moral values, your ethical moral values. This is where you change as you're going into a society and how you feel about it. The second card up is called seeing or visualizing. It's the third eye in chakra. Something close to enlightenment and putting things into perspective. And the crowning card on the top right, I consider knowing and understanding. But knowing is one thing, but if you can't apply it to wise actions, it's not wisdom. When I'm done with that, I would be putting the card on the left side that will represent your past. I will be putting a card on the right side that represents your future. And then I will be using the bottom of the card of the deck as more of the energy of the reading. And it could be the outcome, but we really don't know. And at the end of that, we will be putting one of Doreen Virtue's angel cards out to see what's up for 2017. I'll be using the Conley Tarot deck for all the readings. It's new to me. I have a new channel. We have a new year. And I decided that it was time to buy a new deck of cards, and actually I really like them. So onward with the readings. Hi there, Libra. Let's see what you have in store for the year 2017. At the base of your spine, your sourcing and urgings, it's the Ten of Swords. You feel stabbed in the back. You feel betrayed. With the presence of swords, there was probably some malicious words spoken, maybe more. But I'm picking up that this was from the distant past. And something sparked this same feeling to resurface it now. And every time you unconsciously think about it, you feel a sharp pain. We all have made mistakes in our lives, and we can't really blow them out of proportion, so you have to consider this more of a learning experience. Swords are mind over matter, and you have to determine what truly matters to you. As a surprise, I have a miniature Rider-Waite cards under each of the 7 cards as a clarification card, and you've got the strength. You have the patience now to tame the beast inside you. You're restraining your worldly emotions and trying to advance towards more spiritual, higher self. You're overcoming your challenges through this restraint. This is excellent that you have the grief card and you have the strength card. 2 opposing forces, but it balances itself out. Very intrinsic to Libra, always wanting the fulcrum of the scales to be balanced. Here in the pelvic sacrum, you're awakening and you're arousing. You got the 2 of Cups. Somewhere in the midst of things, there's a union of some sort. It could be a love relationship, it could be a partnership in business, it could be companionship, it could be friendship. But somewhere someone is helping you along with your emotional and spiritual growth and even sexual growth. Clarification card is the Page of Cups, the dreamy young man that gives intuition. But he has his head in the clouds, and he fantasizes. He's the peacemaker of runaway emotions. And he also is the messenger. And he can also gossip. And perhaps that's what happened here with the Ten of Swords, is that some spiky gossip actually changed your life. We don't know, but in this dreamy state that he induces, perhaps the union, the person that you're now bonding with that's helping you along, is only temporary. This person is just there to help you along. And when the job is done, this person will move on. I know this has happened in my life, where people have come into my life when I was having a hard time, and when everything was said and done, they left my life, and for no ultimate reason, I just never heard from them. And I as well have done the same thing, where I've helped people along and then I just move on. Here in the solar plexus, in your sensing and feelings, is the miser card. But where he's at in the spread doesn't really mean that he's holding on to money and not being charitable. What it means is that you're hanging on to something that isn't beneficial in your life. See what the clarification card says. And here you got the Hermit. Now you're going inside yourself and finding out that you have to shed fruitless emotions. You have to listen to your own inner wisdom of the truth. This is where you question where you came from, where you're at right now, and where you're going. In reality, you probably had all these answers, but until you went inside, you didn't recognize them. Here in the heart of the matter, of the situation, is the High Priestess. She's a guidance to the higher self. She brings in mystical enlightenment into the material world. She unites the spiritual awakening with the knowledge that you've already gained. She brings in insightful intuition. Here you've got the Hermit, bringing yourself into the inner wisdom, and now more spiritual, insightful intuition. Let's see what the clarification card. Oh my goodness. You got the Miser card again, the Four of Pentacles. Just in case you missed this message, you have the Four of Pentacles twice, and going into inner wisdom and finding guidance from spiritual intuition. Down here in the throat, the communication and teachings, and it's temperance. Appears you've been your own worst enemy. Repetitive behavior has conquered the urgings for some type of reform. There hasn't been balance, and balance has to be restored for well-being. Your clarification card is the Queen of Cups. Once again, a very intuitive woman. She's telling you to listen to your inner voice. What are you truly feeling? And are you listening to your gut feelings? Up here, this is where your gut feelings are. And you're thinking about it, and you're finding inner wisdom, but have you really been truly listening to them? She's also a peacemaker of emotions. She can heal wounded hearts. But the funny thing is that she can't apply her own intuition to her own life. Perhaps that's where you're being stopped as well. Up here in the third eye, in the seeing and envisioning and putting things into perspective. Once again, if you missed the message, there's two Queen of Cups in this reading. So are you listening to your intuition? Are you taking your own advice into the real world? Let's see what the clarification card is. You got the Three of Wands. Excellent. You've made decisions. You're moving forward. You're finding your place in the world. Things are actually falling into place. And your free will has now found freedom. Here up in the crown is the knowing and understanding. And you got the Hierophant. The Hierophant has showed up in a lot of different places in these last 2017 readings. In strange places, but this is a good place for the Hierophant. He oversees values in your life. And you've been now reviewing what was right and wrong. And even it got down to the point where you knew you were wrong for hanging on to something and that you have to change in life. You have to have change in life. See what? And the truth of the matter is that you're actually transforming. Change is not your enemy anymore. And if you don't change, otherwise you have loss. But now you're the phoenix. You're rising out of the ashes. This is a great feeling of rebirth. Okay, and on the left here I'm going to put a card for your past. And you received the Seven of Cups. You've had a lot of choices in the past. You picked some cups that were for pleasure and some that were full of poison. Something happened that you've ignored the consequences to, or have been trying to ignore the consequences to, and it really shook up your cage. This is a signpost that you're required to make better choices. Not whimsical choices, but better choices. Your future card is the Chariot. You've now disciplined and controlled yourself. You're disciplining yourself to move forward for success. And this is pretty much what it's saying up here, is that you found truth and you're transforming. You know you've made some bad choices, but you are going to move forward. And this is going to be in a lot of different ways. You have confidence. And now you feel like you can balance your self-control. Because at times, I believe in the past, your self-control was lacking. Okay, the bottom of the deck card is the Ace of Swords. This is such a wonderful card for you. You cut through all the layers of crap. You reach to the heart of the matter. You freed yourself through logic, though, and it's not through emotions. Change now will come easily for you. In some cases, success will come very quickly as well, because it's giving you a new beginning. This whole year of 2017 is endings and new beginnings, and it looks like you're shedding quite a few things to bring new beginnings in. You can't bring old baggage into a new world. Suddenly things are going to look different for you, and there's going to be compromise, but there's going to be definitely more opportunities and doors flying open for opportunities where they've been closed. This is because you've overcome the confusion of your life. And now you have the opportunity to make some free choices, since you're now getting rid of all of the baggage. Intrinsically, Libras want balance. They want the fulcrum of the scales to be in equilibrium, and it looks like you actually will achieve that. You have to remember, though, that Jupiter is in your sign now until October 10th, but it goes retrograde, I believe, in June. And now this window of the first 6 months of the year should be the time that you launch some new things, because good luck and fortune is going to be on your side. But when it goes retrograde, there's going to be a lot of detailed reviews. And you want to use this to your advantage, because you have an excellent spread. You have an excellent year. Okay, here we go. Athena. It is safe for you to be powerful. Okay, I got halfway through reading the Doreen Virtue Messages from the Angels card, and I lost juice. So I'll read it again. You received Athena. It is safe for you to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a loving way that benefits others as well as yourself. I believe Leo got this card too as well. I think the theme of this is that you let somebody take your power, and now you're regaining it and you're empowering yourself, but you're doing it in a gentle way so that everybody else can benefit, and this time including yourself. So I think you had an excellent reading, and I think you're going to have a great 2017.